Local history. Local culture. Local events. Your community. This is the Joe Kelly Show.
Hi there, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. Our guest is Captain Kelly Ross. She's from the Salvation Army, and Salvation Army is what we're going to be talking about in general, but in particular, the holidays. This is a busy time of the year for the folks up at 14 Clinton Place. But before we do any of that, we're going to say welcome. Good to see you again.
It's good to see you, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Busiest time of the year for you?
Oh, super busy.
Yeah. And you celebrate the holidays in various ways, food being one of them. What do you do for Christmas?
So Christmas, it's we have families come in and apply for some toy assistance, some food, and so they start coming in October. Believe it or not, we start Christmas in October for us. And they write down some toy wishes and some clothing sizes for their children, and then we spend between October and December in getting different companies, individuals adopting these children, so that on Christmas morning, these families, there are gifts under the tree for the children.
Is the goal obviously so that nobody has nothing under a tree?
Yeah, that's the goal, Joe. We realize that for some families, this is just a little bit extra help, and then the majority of our families, though, this is their Christmas. And so we've seen a significant increase in requests this year for children and families needing a little extra help this Christmas. So, you know, if you're a company or an organization or an individual that would like to help us to get these children adopted, we would love to hear from you.
Is it too late for a family to get on your list?
It's never too late. We are putting families on a waiting list at this point because, like I said, we have a lot of children right now that we're still trying to get adopted. So if you do need assistance, you can give us a call and we'll add you to our waiting list and then reach out if we're able to assist.
Are those cards that you have in there a part of that?
Yes. Each of these tags represent a child that we're trying to get adopted this Christmas season. And so again, if you can help us out and reach out and adopt one of these children, and I have more of them actually, that would be great.
So are those cards that you have there, I see they're all filled out, are those cards that you need somebody to adopt?
Yes.
It's a lot of cards.
There's a lot, and these aren't all of them. And we are working with some different businesses already and some individuals, but we need more. So.
And what about on the food end of things? How does that work for Christmas?
So we are currently working with seniors and providing food boxes for seniors. So we've taken applications for that as well. We have a large number of seniors that we'll be providing food boxes for. We have received some grant money too from another group that we're working on putting together some food boxes for the families that have applied for Christmas as well.
You're a member, the Salvation Army is a member, is it not, of the local United Way?
Yes, we're part of the United Way. We're part of the, the food bank and things like that that provide resources as well.
Will people be coming, you're up on 14 Clinton Place, a great facility up there. Will you have people coming in there on Christmas?
Not on Christmas Day, no. So for all this stuff that's happening with the angel tree and the food boxes and things like that, we have 2 set days that we'll be distributing the gifts and the food to the families that have applied.
What, and is that right before Christmas?
Just before Christmas, yeah. All the families that have come in and applied for assistance, they have a specific date and a specific time that they'll come in and receive the gifts and the food and things like that.
And food-wise, up there you have a food pantry and you have the soup kitchen. Talk about the food pantry first.
So the food pantry, again, and we've seen a large increase in requests for food. Specifically, when I arrived in June, the numbers continue to rise. So our food pantry is on Wednesdays from 9 to 2:30. It is by appointment only, so we ask folks to call on a Monday to schedule that appointment, and people will come and pick up the food.
And the food pantry is consisting of a whole realm of things?
Yeah, it's all the sides. So our pantry is a choice pantry. So if as an individual or a family that comes in, they come into the room and they select from all that we have, whether it's canned veggies, rice, macaroni and cheese, you know, all the fixings that you might need. And then we have a box of meat that we provide, chicken, hamburger, hot dogs, and things like that. But it's a choice for them. They get to select.
Is this, is the food in the food pantry donated, or do you go out and buy it?
So the food in the food pantry is purchased. We buy a lot of our food from the food bank because we receive funding from them. We receive funding from United Way, EFSP money, and so we purchase the food as well.
And how about on the soup kitchen? Is that once a week?
No, soup kitchen is Monday through Friday from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
And who can come in for that?
Anybody. Anybody.
And when you say soup kitchen, what do you mean?
So it's a hearty meal. It's a great meal.
It's
and,
more than just soup.
Oh yeah, it's definitely more than just soup. We have anything from chicken to pasta to soup and, you know, grilled cheese sandwiches. But it's a good meal. We make sure you leave there full, and you can come in and enjoy it and sit down and have fellowship with other soup kitchen guests, or you can take it to go.
The kitchen you have up there, that's a professional kitchen, big kitchen.
It's a beautiful kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it allows us to feed a lot of people.
Yeah. How many do you expect there would be in there? Would you see these numbers climbing as we get closer to Christmas?
We continue to see the numbers climb. Now, the beginning of the month, our numbers are a little less due to, you know, people receiving checks and things like that. But like even now and up, we can get anywhere from 30 to 40 to 50 people a day that we're feeding.
Do you have to turn somebody away because they're not qualified?
No, we don't turn anybody away. We don't ask for any qualifications for Soup Kitchen. We do ask that they sign in just for our, keep track of our stats for that some of these agencies require. But, you know, if you're not comfortable putting your real name and you just want to put Bob, put Bob, you know. But we don't turn anybody away. We want to be able to feed anybody that's hungry. And if it's a family, maybe their children are still in school, but they need something for dinner. They can come pick up the meal and take it home and have it for dinner.
And you've only been here since this summer.
Yes.
Do you see any numbers from past years that indicate how many people will have been helped by the Salvation Army after this year?
So I don't have our current numbers right now for 2023 because I'm just arriving in June. But I believe last year of 2022, we served 60,000 meals through our soup kitchen.
You think that'll go beyond that this
Oh,
year?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. We come back, we're going to talk about how this all gets paid for, because there's a bill at the end of the day, and the Salvation Army has quite an iconic way of raising money. We're going to ask Captain Ross how they go about raising a lot of that. Is that your signature event, the Red
Yes.
Candle? Yeah, we'll talk to her about the Red Candle campaign right after this. Short break, right back. And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Captain Kelly Ross is our guest, along with her husband, Captain Jonathan Ross. They're in charge up at 14 Clinton Place, the Salvation Army. Does the Salvation Army say this is the way it's got to be? I mean, you're like an executive director of an organization, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And does the Salvation Army say it's got to be married couple?
No, there's some individuals that are running the Salvation Army, and but if you're married, you run it together. Mm-hmm. But you don't have to be.
Yeah, okay. Because I can go back a few captains, and I'm trying to think how many I can go back. I can go back quite a ways.
Right.
And they've all been married.
Nope, we have some singles and then sometimes they're partnered with another single to run the operations of the Salvation Army.
Okay. And why the military model, Captain?
Because we believe in the Salvation Army, because we are a church. Salvation Army is a church, and not many people know that, but we're really known for our social service aspects. But, we're fighting a spiritual battle, and so they've adopted the military ranks to remind us of that.
It's a Bible-based ministry, yes?
Yes, everything we preach is straight from the Bible.
And would it closely align with the Methodist Church?
Yes, so the founder of the Salvation Army, William and Catherine Booth, he was a Methodist.
And part of what you do up there on Clinton Place, on Sunday, you have Sunday school, you have church services?
Yep, we have Sunday school at 10 o'clock, we have church services at 11.
And do you preach?
I do. I just preached this past Sunday.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy that aspect of it?
I do. I really enjoy all aspects of the ministry of the Salvation Army. Get to really meet new people, go travel to new places. But there are some days that are more challenging than others, but overall I do enjoy it.
You came up here from Newburgh, yes, you and your husband?
New York, yeah.
And you've been here since July. What's your initial impressions of the area?
I love the area. I really do. It's a beautiful area, and people have been so welcoming, and we've really had a great time since being here.
All right, let's talk about how you get a lot of this paid for, the Red Kettle campaign.
Yes.
And I think most people are aware of what the Red Kettle is. You've got volunteers out ringing a bell. There's a Red Kettle. People hopefully make donations, and you use that money to fund a lot of your operations. How big of a percentage is it in this area of what the Red Kettle campaign brings in?
So again, I'm new here, so I don't know exactly what they've raised. I believe it was like $40,000 last year they raised. Now we have a large goal this year, Joe. We're trying to raise $120,000, and in order to do that, we need lots more volunteers. We're so grateful for the volunteers that have already signed up or have already spent some time standing and ringing that bell. But without raising these crucial dollars, it's going to be difficult to continue to do a lot of the services that we provide.
Captain Harrington, who was here with his wife before you, told me once that the locations, getting a location isn't a problem. You can get as many locations as need be. The problem is getting somebody to go to those locations.
Yeah, it's been a real challenge again, and we are thankful for those that have already stood for us. And we've been doing this about a week, a little over a week right now. And we've had some great people give us a call, stand. We have some of our regulars too, but we're looking at like tomorrow, when we're looking at Friday, we have very few volunteers. And so we definitely need more volunteers.
What is required to, and you asked for a minimum hours, do you not?
I mean, anywhere from 2 to 4 hours is a great way to start out. Some people are able to cover 2 hours, some people are able to cover 4, and some are able to cover the whole day. And so we've been really reaching out and asking for any amount of time would be sufficient, would be great.
What's the first step if somebody wants to ring the bell?
So they can get in contact with us down at Clinton Place. They can give us a call, 315-724-8736. They can follow us on our Facebook page, the Salvation Army Utica. We have a Sign Up Genius link there where they can go on and see what's available and sign up. But it's, any bit of time would be great.
Will you go right to Christmas Eve?
We will ring through December 23rd this year because Christmas Eve is on a Sunday, so we don't ring on Sundays.
And in previous years, well, talk about Newburgh because you weren't here last Christmas, but was there a day that was the most productive for the Salvation Army in terms of donations? Did you find like the closer to Christmas you get, the better it gets in terms of donations?
Well, usually the week of Thanksgiving, our donations are up, and then it kind of drops a little bit. And then as we get closer to Christmas, the donations do increase a bit. But we do have a special day, December 16th, we have an opportunity to, we have a match. So all cash that's put in that kettle, in any of our kettles, up to $5,000 will be matched dollar for dollar. So we want to make sure we certainly want volunteers throughout the whole season, but on that particular day, December 16th, we want to make sure we have every spot covered because all cash donations that are put in all of our kettles on that day will be matched up to $5,000.
So if I were to put a $5 bill in the kettle, somebody's going to match that with $5?
Yes.
Who is it?
Huh?
Who's doing the matching?
I'd rather not say who's doing the matching,
Okay.
but that's an opportunity that we've been given.
Just a generous?
Yeah, a generous person on that particular day. No, it doesn't include any checks or electronic donations. It's specifically all cash in our kettles.
The people who donate, I don't know, I've rung the bell on several occasions, and it seems to me that as you get closer to Christmas, people get into a Christmas spirit, and they just, people respond.
They do, and they've been already responding. They really have. They've been responding. I've been standing out a little bit here and there at like Hobby Lobby and stuff like that, and people have been responding. We are so thankful for those that have already donated. It's definitely encouraging.
My granddaughters, this was several years ago, but what they did, not at my suggestion, they just took it upon themselves. They brought these little plastic wrapped candy canes, and every time somebody made a donation, even if they didn't make a donation, they offered them a candy cane.
Yes.
I thought that was a nice kind of a little thing to do.
Yes, I had candy canes yesterday when I was out at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
And actually, if you've seen me out, I wear this blow-up turkey outfit, so it looks like I'm sitting on a turkey and ringing the bell, and gets people's attention and puts a smile on their face, and oftentimes leads them to donate. So,
Yeah,
which is great.
I would guess too that it's a good time for you to learn about the community, interact with people.
Right. No, this community has been so welcoming and has really been helping us to meet the needs of the community, and it's been great.
When we come back, we'll talk about how this whole thing got started. And oftentimes it's one person I found in the Relay for Life for the American Cancer Society. One person got that whole thing going, and the same thing is true for the Salvation Army. We're going to talk to Kelly about that when we come back. Short break, right back. And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Captain Kelly Ross is our guest. She's part of the husband-wife team up at 14 Clinton Place, Salvation Army. She's been here since July, and this will be her first Red Cattle campaign of her time here, but not of her time in the Salvation Army. You go through this every year.
Every year.
Yeah. The Red Cattle campaign, which does so much for the Salvation Army, got started with one person, yes?
One person. He was a young captain in the Salvation Army out of San Francisco, actually, and he saw a need at Christmas time. He wanted to be able to feed the families, and he didn't have enough funds to do that. So he came up with the idea of placing a large pot out, and he wanted to keep the pot boiling, was his thought. And so he asked folks to donate, and from there, the Red Kettle campaign has just taken off.
The thing I'm thinking of, Kelly, is that from one person comes this enormous campaign, and it's international, is it not?
Yes, yes.
Did you ever see a number on what this raises internationally? I mean, it's...
I know it's a large amount, and I
Yeah.
can't tell you the exact, but what I can tell you is all of the money that is raised goes right back into serving the communities where all these funds are raised.
And Do I recall correctly that from my reading history that this was like in the late 1800s that this captain started this?
Yes, it's Captain Joseph McIntyre in the 1800s, yes.
Yeah. The one of the things that you need money for is keeping up that building, that beautiful facility you have up there, including a gym. And is that gym being used?
Absolutely. We have started since arriving in July. We started with running some after-school programs, and we have after-school programs 3 days a week. Music classes, free music classes for the children, an open gym program, and then we've been doing some baking classes, which will transition to painting classes in January, once after the Christmas season.
How did I know you showed it to me when I was up there this July. I think that's when I was up there in July. You have a ice cream ministry.
Ice cream cart ministry, yes.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great this summer. We were able to push it around the community a bit, and then as school was starting back, we connected with some of the schools and went to their back-to-school nights and spent some time getting to connect with the families and hand out free ice cream there.
For people who aren't aware of it, it's actually an ice cream push cart, yes?
Yes, yes.
Was that your idea?
Yes, yes. It's been an idea. I love ice cream, Joe. And my dream is to actually have an ice cream truck to drive around the communities and hand out free ice cream and offer other services. So the cart has been a great way to connect.
And you actually look for places to go in the summer, yes?
Yes, yes. We look for places to go. If people are having different events, we go to parks, we go to, and just push the streets, on the streets of Utica and hand it out.
You mentioned that was your dream to get a truck. Do you have any other dreams about being here in Utica, things you'd like to see start up or expand?
You know, we're just kind of taking it day by day, and like I said, we saw a need for some after-school programs, and so that's what currently we're focused on right now. I am working with another gentleman and getting a basketball program started for January as well, so that we can utilize the gym a little bit more. But just taking day by day and figuring out what some of the needs are and working on implementing those.
I might have a name for somebody after the show. I'm not going to use his name now and commit him to it, but somebody who might work out well for you.
Okay.
The Salvation Army also is involved with counseling, yes?
And some of the Salvation Armies are, yes. I mean, I don't have a degree in counseling, but if certainly somebody wanted to come and talk to us, we'd be willing to talk and pray with them and try and help them.
What happens if somebody says, well, you know, I'd like the food, or I'd like the gifts for the kids, but I don't want to get involved with religion? What do you say? That's
okay. We don't, you know, we invite families to partake in our programs and into our services, but that's not required. You know, we want to be a help, and if they're not comfortable with getting involved in any of that, that's okay. That's not why we do it per se. I mean, we do invite, but we don't, it's not mandated. It's not mandatory for them to get involved.
I seem to recall a movie, what was it, Guys and Dolls, or where you would get a meal, but you had to sit through a sermon.
Yeah, no, we don't require that. I mean, we offer stuff, right? We offer stuff. We may give them a War Cry magazine when they pick up their toys. If somebody's in need of prayer, we'll offer to pray for them. But we don't, it's not mandatory to receive the gifts and the food and things like that.
To get in touch with you, just go to the website, I guess that's the best thing?
They can go to our website, they can go to our Facebook page, Salvation Army Utica. They can call us directly, 315-724-8736, and just ask for Captain Kelly.
All right, and it's never too late to volunteer, right?
Joe, it's never too late. I mean, we certainly need a large amount of volunteers to get through the Christmas season, but even after Christmas, you know, we operate, like I said, a soup kitchen, a food pantry, after school programs, and there's going to be a few more things coming down the pipeline after the Christmas season. So if you can't volunteer now during the Christmas season for whatever reason, certainly reach out to us after the Christmas season, January, and we can plug you in somewhere.
Yeah, this is all really volunteer-based. I saw a saying, it said, the volunteers at the Salvation Army, the volunteers are the Army behind the Army.
Yes, yes, we need volunteers. I mean, to continue to do what we do, the dollars are certainly crucial. We need to be able to raise these dollars during this short amount of time, right? And it allows us to continue to provide the services, not just this Christmas season. It's not just about providing the gifts for the children right now. It's not just about providing a food box for a senior. That's not what those dollars are raised for, just for. Those dollars are used all year long. It provides the gas in the van for me to drive around to pick up the children for the after-school programs. It provides the money to purchase the food where we feed the children and the after-school programs. Provides us, resources to feed anybody that's hungry, and just to meet the needs of the communities that we reside in.
Speaking of that, what's the area that the Salvation Army on Clinton Place? What's the area that you encompass?
So we're in Oneida County, and it's Whitesboro, it's Marcy, it's Newarkville, it's Utica, and I'm probably forgetting one or two, but we have a large area to cover, and we don't turn anybody away. If we do the best we can with the resources we have, and we provide, because of the dollars that are put in that kettle, we're able to provide those resources.
Well, good luck this Christmas season.
Thank you.
Yeah, always good to see you.
Good to see you.
That's going to do it for us this week. We'll be back next week. We'll do it all again. Don't forget, SanWayHomepage.com is a good place to go. See a lot of good stuff from here. Until next time, take care of yourself, everybody.